Hey, here we are, Route 66. We're on day number 347, and today we're reading the book of Colossians. Um, I think next to the book of Romans, Colossians has so much good teaching in it. It is a really, really good letter that Paul wrote. And I think part of the reason is because the theme of Colossians is Christ is supreme and he's all sufficient, which means Jesus is number one and Jesus is all you need. So let me see if I can summarize the chapters just a little bit. Chapter 1, Paul kind of really emphasizes the supremacy of Christ. He's the head of the church. He's the creator of all things. He's the one in whom the fullness of God dwells. He emphasizes the fact that as believers, we have been reconciled through the death of Jesus Christ. We are brought close to God. In chapter 2, he warns against some of the false philosophies, the legalism, the other things about certain performances. You got to have this, you got to have this. You're not a good Christian if you don't have this in your life. And he simply says, we are complete in Christ. We don't need any external rules or rituals to be fully saved or spiritually mature. We just need Jesus. Kind of like, if you think about it, kind of like marriage. There's a whole lot of things that could make marriage better, but if you have a husband and a wife that love each other and have each other, that's the most important thing, and that's all you need. If you have Jesus. Chapter 3, because believers have been raised with Christ in his resurrection, we must set our mind on things above. We need to be heavenly minded. We need to consider eternity and those things. Put off the things that bother us down here, like anger, greed, bitterness. Put on the virtues like compassion and love in our daily life so that we'll be able to live more like we're in heaven. Then that affects our relationships. He talks about relationships that we have down here as well. Doesn't mean that the old saying, we're so heavenly minded, we're no earthly good. I really think that the person whose mind is more on heavenly things is a lot better person down here. Chapter 4, he instructs believers how to conduct themselves toward people that are outside the faith, outsiders, with wisdom and grace, and he concludes with some personal greetings. So some lessons I think that are good. One lesson, and that's for the whole book, Christ is enough. Resist the temptation to add anything to Jesus for salvation or spiritual growth. There's a lot of good things that you can do. But here's one of the problems. You start adding on to things, saying, well, I'm going to start doing this. And if you're not careful, you'll neglect Jesus, and that's the source of everything. Christ is enough. A second lesson, live from the resurrection. Your identity is in Jesus. And we need to live out our relationships, whether they be at home or at work, wherever it is, out of Jesus. Jesus is alive and lives through us. Let him live his life through you. And then a third lesson is to prioritize prayer. Be devoted to prayer. Approach your relationships with prayer, both Christian and non-Christian. Make the most of every opportunity, whether it be with a Christian or with a non-Christian. And I think that's important, to prioritize your prayer life and pray for those situations. So good, great reading. So enjoy.